Well, hello there. We have a rather sad flight to do today, which is why I have renamed the famous Joey into Golf Sierra Lima November Kilo. That stands for Slinky, my rescue greyhound that was put to sleep just about 36 hours ago. And we're all missing him greatly. It's very sad. So I wanted to do this tribute flight to talk about him, talk about his legacy, and to fly over the places which he really loved. So I'm just going to get things started up and while I just try and talk a bit about Slinky. So Slinky was born on the 8th of November 2012. He was born in Ireland and he was intended to be a racing greyhound. We're not big fans of greyhound racing, but we really wanted to rescue one who'd retired. He raced, we believe, in England, a number of different races. I think he had a couple of different names. He was called Vital Evidence for some races, and then I think Slick Seacrest.
Then comes one stunning buddy, but into the home straight now, and 6 Vital Evidence winning form over further after a flying start, emerges a comfortable winner. Second was Trap 2 Vale Shaw, one stunning buddy third. The winning time, superb, 18:67.
Unfortunately, he had a bad accident, which was sort of covered up. It's a very opaque industry is the greyhound racing world, and this accident you've just seen on screen there, I mean, that could easily have killed him. Let's just get these engines started. Yeah, so he raced for a number of years. I think he was quite good and quite fast at what he did. Just get my carb heat on and I'll get this sorted. Yeah, he was very good at what he did. He did win a few races. Okay, I'm just gonna... Oh, okay, what happened there? Okay, apologies. Let's start this again. Okay, not sure what's going on there, but maybe get a bit more revs. That's what it is. Okay, let's start turning to taxi. So we'll taxi for this runway over here. Do you know what? I don't even know where the runway is. I think this is a disused airfield in real life, so I'm just going to taxi out here. And we'll just do a quick departure. Okay, hand landing lights can come on. And carb heat can come on. Yeah, we'll just take off here. I'm not sure if this is even a runway, but it's fine. Yeah, so as I said, so he raced for a few years, and we believe that an untreated fracture was what stopped him racing. So he was sent over to the Scottish Borders Greyhound Trust Rehoming Centre in Reston in the Borders. Do you know what? This isn't really a runway, but I think I'm just going to take off here. Let's take off and then we'll carry on talking. Oh, carb heat cold. And one stage of flap. And we'll get the panel lights on as well. We'll take off here. Climbing rate 90 knots. So looking for 200 above. 200 above, flaps can come up. Rear engine power, failure switch light off, and we'll get power back. Yeah, so I think to check whether I'm on course or not, I'm going to have to look this map here instead. That's fine, we'll just do that. Okay, so just passing 1,000 feet. This is roughly the right heading. And we'll just level off round about here. Okay, fuel pumps can come off. And landing lights. Great, that's looking good. Looking good. Right, so he came to the rescue centre. My wife had wanted a dog for a long time, and I wasn't really on board with it at all. I was quite worried. I'd never had a dog. I had lots of fears about becoming a dog owner, and I tried to put her off as long as I could, until I realised that it was her absolute dream, something important to do in her life. She had a few health issues, and I thought, you know, this is the time to step up and give her what she needs. And I thought, well, of course I don't have to love the dog. I could just if I can learn to tolerate its presence, then that'll be fine. So she was scouring all the Greyhound Rescue Trust websites, and she saw a few that she was interested in, but it was the description of Slinky which really sealed the deal for her, that she really wanted this particular one. So we're nearly now at the rehoming centre where we first got him. Well, sorry, where we first met him, and then we actually got him. So I honestly do not know why this GPS isn't working properly. Okay, it's 2,000 feet. Don't really want to go above that. Okay, 2.5 miles away now. Yeah, so Karen and her brother first went to meet him. She fell in love. She just felt that he was the right dog for her, and she just knew there was something absolutely magical about him in her instant connection with him. Okay, 1.5 miles to go. And then I think it was a few weeks later I went to meet him myself. She got me to try walking him on the lead, which is a very new experience for me. I was very out of my comfort zone, but nevertheless by this point I was committed through all my fear of towards actually getting him. Okay, so I think we should now be able to see the rescue centre on the left hand side. So I think it's these buildings here. Let's just check. Yeah, I think, let's have a look. I think we're just roughly overhead now. Yeah. So let's just okay, I think it's these buildings down here is the rescue centre. Yeah. So they were very nice. They were very diligent in assessing us and doing all the paperwork and checking we'd be the right responsible people to have a rescue greyhound. Karen had been a vet nurse for 7 years, so she was very used to animals, and I wasn't. But we went on holiday, and through the whole holiday Karen was so excited, and we actually brought Slinky's arrival day home a bit forward, because she was so desperate to have him in our lives. I was still very scared. So we had a very small flat. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I knew nothing really, but within literally, it's hard to remember exactly when I knew that I loved him, but I would say just within a few weeks I really did bond with him. And he really settled in. It was strange for him. He'd never seen stairs before. He peed in the house a few times, but he was very quick to train. He had lived in kennels his whole life, so it was all completely new to him. But one thing which is absolutely amazing was that on the first night of having him, he roached. Roaching is a term where greyhounds turn upside down and they go over onto their back and put their legs in the air, and it's a real sign that they're very relaxed and comfortable. So in real life at this point I wouldn't be allowed to fly through this danger zone. This is I think it's to do with Torness power station. It's restricted. It's actually, I'm just going to bomb straight through. Let me just check some instruments. I do have to remember I'm flying as well. Okay, fuel's looking good. Electrics. Oh, I should be. Let's do some mixture leaning. That'll save some petrol, some fuel. Okay, that's good. Right, so the next place we're going is a beach called Seacliff Beach. It's a private beach on the in East Lothian, and the reason we're going to fly over here is because he had such a lovely run here a few New Years ago. We met up with our friends Julia and Graham, and they now have a lovely Labrador, but we also met with my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, and they brought their dogs, so they're all cousins together. You can see they had a lovely time on this beach. So by this flight I really just want to talk about Slinky and just mark his memory by flying over the places that he truly loved. So we're just about 8 miles away now up this coast. Slinky was very, very goofy at home. He loved toys. He'd never really played with toys before, so that was very interesting for him. He loved eating. He loved sausages. He loved chicken. He loved loads of different foods. He really, really got treated so well, like the prince of the house. And Karen, my wife, was absolutely superb dog mommy for Slinky. It's quite emotional now thinking about all the effort she went to do all the research and get everything ready for him. Initially I wanted him to sleep in a kennel in the kitchen because I had certain red lines I didn't want to be crossed, one of which was he was not going to be allowed on the sofas, he was not going to be allowed on the beds. Those red lines, they went away. They soon went away, that's for sure. You can see Seacliff Beach approaching. Here's John Muir Country Park. On the left, of course, John Muir, the famous Scottish naturalist, whose name was used for Muir Woods in just north of San Francisco, although he actually had nothing to do with those woods, but the owners of that land decided they wanted to name it after John Muir, so that was fantastic. Okay. So just about 3 miles to go now. So, as I said, we had to make an awful decision to put Slinky to sleep just a couple of days ago. Really horrible. He'd been ill for quite a while with inflammatory bowel disease, and we'd always managed to get him to pull through. Had a lot of trips to the vet, a lot of medication, steroids, different kinds of treatments they tried. And Karen did so much research into hydrolyzed diets to give him something that his stomach could tolerate. By this stage, he couldn't really tolerate any of the nice foods that he enjoyed, which was really, really sad to see. And he would go off the different diets, maybe because his stomach just didn't work with them anymore. When he went off his last diet and stopped eating and then stopped drinking, we rushed him to the vet. They persuaded us to give him one last shot by being put on a drip because of how dehydrated he was. And we tried that. He didn't really pull through, but we got him home, and we got him home for a few hours. We were going to end his misery in the kindest way possible the day afterwards, but he was really struggling and straining and in a lot of discomfort. It was horrible to see. Karen and I were pounding the streets with him, trying to get him to go to the loo for about the 15th time at 3 o'clock in the morning. So Karen, she knew, she called it, and we phoned the emergency vet and got him taken in. We took him in about 4:30 in the morning, once my sister-in-law had had a chance to come round and say goodbye with her dog. And we sadly had to put him to sleep, and the pain since has just been really difficult. So we're just flying over Seacliff Beach there. So he loved that beach. Okay, we're now going to turn towards Musselburgh. So there's North Berwick Law on the nose. I'm going to see if I can negotiate this with air traffic control. If it doesn't work for them with my intended routing, then I will disconnect from VATSIM. So let's see who's online. And actually, we have no one from Edinburgh online, so that actually helps, because it means I will be able to kind of do what I want, but I will tune in Unicom frequency 122.8, and that means I can talk to anyone that's coming into Edinburgh, and I will hear what other people are doing. So let's just head towards Musselburgh now. So the reason we're heading towards Musselburgh Racecourse is twofold. Firstly, it's a visual reporting point for entering the Edinburgh control zone. I'll show you on the map here. So a lot of VFR, that's visual flight rule traffic, enters the zone overhead Musselburgh Racecourse. But the other reason is because Slinky went to two fantastic greyhound days there. It was just wonderful seeing and meeting so many other greyhound owners, looking at the different merchandise, the different displays and stalls. And I entered him in the Black Beauty contest, and it's really painful to talk about all this, because you just know that this chance isn't going to happen again for him, and yeah, really struggling with that. But we entered him in the Black Beauty competition, and you can see that here. He didn't win, but he did get a loser's rosette, which was nice. Yeah. So that is hard. Okay, still no Edinburgh frequencies online, which is good. I think the problem is that my route that I want to fly doesn't really follow 100% standard routing, so they may not be able to agree to all my requests. So if they do come online, I may just disconnect from them. Right, let's put some car beat on for 30 seconds. Stop the engines seizing up in these difficult conditions. Okay, and Musselburgh, I think, is off in the distance there. I can see it. I think it's over here. Yeah. So we had so much fun at Musselburgh Racecourse. One of the days was raining, unfortunately, but the other one was well, the first one was beautiful weather when we did. No, actually, maybe both of them had some rain. I can't actually remember now. Right, carpet can come cold. Okay. So. Yeah, so this is the Musselburgh Racecourse on the nose here. One famous in the social media world greyhound we met there, who Karen had met before, was called Magnus, and he's got a good Instagram and YouTube following. So that was really nice to see Magnus. He's a lovely greyhound. Okay, I'm just looking for... No, that's not the race course. I think it's up here, so we're actually still got maybe about 3 miles to go. Okay, so here's Musselburgh race course. I'm going to do a wee tribute dive down. Get some height off, and let's say goodbye to our precious boy and his fun times at Musselburgh race course. Yeah, so right on the nose. This is the kind of paddock area where he did his Black Beauty competition. So we can't go below 500 feet for the rules of the air. So it's 700, 600, and now let's go back around. Climb back up now, head over towards Arthur's Seat. In fact, I'll just give a quick radio call. Let's just make sure there's no one else online. No, that's fine. Edinburgh traffic, Golf Sierra Lima November Kilo is a Trislander just entering the zone at Musselburgh. Will be routing via Arthur's Seat towards Field, runway 24. Okay, so heading towards Arthur's Seat now, and then we're going to do a wee turn over to Coulton Hill. In fact, we can just route straight to Coulton Hill now because... So the reason I'm showing Coulton Hill is because I took Slinky into my office to meet, just to the lobby, to meet a few of my colleagues one lunchtime when I was off, who'd heard so much about him. And I met my friend Catherine from Greece. She's lovely. She's a singer-songwriter, very good. Just released an album. Check it out, Catherine Alley. And we took him for a wee walk on Coulton Hill, Edinburgh's famous hill with the national disgrace unfinished monument. However, he was very, very hot, so a bit concerned really. He didn't really like the heat very much. Okay, let's power back now, and here's Coulton Hill. Yeah, that was a lovely walk. So here's Coulton Hill. You can see the National Monument in front, and then heading straight down Princess Street is my office where he met my colleagues. So coming over Coulton Hill now, and just before the Balmoral is my office where he met my colleagues. Yeah, just down there, Waverley Gate. Right, we're now going to turn towards Lomond Park, a subscription-based park where he was able to get off the lead and run free. Oh, let me get some more carb heat on, I think, for a bit. I think we need a bit more prop. Okay, so let's find Lomond Park. Might need a little bit of help here from the map. Okay. Right. So let's find it out the left-hand window. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I think it's down there. Yeah, there's Lomond Park. So he used to love to run around there. He had many a happy hour. Him either chasing a ball or just wandering about the edge looking for cats. He did love cats, by the way. From Lomond Park, we're now going to head towards where we lived. So we lived over here in the sort of Grantony, West Pilton area. Just going to call up Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is turning final runway 24, low approach and go round. So what I wanted to show you here was these flats down here. He used to drag me in the early morning into the interior section of these flats to do cat patrol with Daddy. So we would go and he would know where all the cats were, and he would always want to take me there. So here we are now over Cramond. Let's just find Lauriston Castle. Okay, so Lauriston Castle is another place we used to take him regularly for walks, Karen mainly. It's especially lovely in the autumn. So let's just find Lauriston Castle. Okay. Golf November Kilo is doing one left-hand orbit on visual final for runway 24. Okay, I need to do that because I haven't quite found Lauriston Castle. Okay, so here we are coming over. I think this will be Drumbray or Corstorphine Hill probably, or Clemiston Hill. Right, let's have a look. So the road goes like that. Ah. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my bearings. So, oh, that's is that Barnton Junction or Quality Street Junction? Yeah. Okay. I think I know where I am roughly. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so this is meant to be Lauriston Castle down here. There's a beautiful oriental garden. We met my uncle and aunt from America down here. They loved it. And here we are at Cramond. He loved, I'll tell you what one thing he loved. Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is turning final runway 24 for low approach and go around. Yeah, so this Cramond beach down here, one place he absolutely loved was this little turning circle there, because there was often an ice cream van and he dragged us, often Karen on her own, dragged us over to that turning circle to get an ice cream. Okay, let's just check. I'm still online. Just check my transmit button that's working. Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is on final for low approach and go around runway 24. We'll be doing a left-hand turn out towards Kirk Newton, looping back around to fly overhead runway 24, heading towards the Forth Bridges. Okay. So, I think once we actually did walk Slinky on this flight path under the runway threshold here, where the train line is. If I have a picture of that, I'll put that up now. I'm sure we did once. Okay, let's go around. Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is going around runway 24, left-hand turn out to Kirk Newton, and then all the way around to overhead field at 2,000 feet. Okay, so the reason we're doing this go around and turning left, which is not standard procedure, is because I need to take you to another place that he loved called Jupiter Artland. So let's head left now and we'll find that. He had a lovely, there was a day at Jupiter Artland called Dogs Love Art 2 or something like that. So we took Slinky there on that day, and I'm going to play some clips of that now. Yeah, so I think Jupiter Artland is yeah, down below us here. Wonderful, wonderful place. There's some Charles Jenks landscape sculptures, and Slinky had a whale of a time. So let's now climb to 2,000 feet. In fact, we'll get mixture rich for the climb. Let's put the fuel pumps on, and let's climb up and fly overhead Edinburgh Airport. There we go, 2,000 feet. Let's level off. Yeah, we'll fly overhead the runway, and we'll head towards South Queensferry. The reason we're going there is because I took some nice photos of him there, and he did really love that bit of beach. Okay, here's the field. Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is approaching the field from the south. We'll be crossing runway 24 at the midpoint, heading north to Forth Bridges, we'll call north side. Okay, 2,000 feet. So yeah, so the next place we're going to go is South Queensferry, as I said. But we'll just do what we announced on the radio. It's very, very light traffic tonight. There's pretty much no one on, which is quite unusual for this time of the evening. Makes me think something is wrong with my connection, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so let's head now towards South Queensferry. Just fly over the runway here. Okay, overhead now. Okay. Yeah, overhead the fields. Okay, clear the runway. Edinburgh traffic, Golf November Kilo is north side 1,800 feet, heading to Forth Bridges, then Kelty. Okay. Yeah, I think I am connected, but I'm not sure. There's just no one on. Okay, so we're now about to fly very close to where I took one of my nicest pictures of him. I think I really just caught him and his dog Mommy so beautifully, I think. Okay, so this coming overhead South Queensferry now. And he loved beaking about in all the shops on the high street here. He really, really enjoyed it. And there's the world famous Forth Bridge. And here's roughly where we took the photo. Now I'm just going to turn towards Aberdour. And this is a beach that we walked him along a few times, which he absolutely loved. It's a stunning little town in Fife with just a gorgeous beach and a gorgeous kind of walk around the cliffs and around the coast. Okay, let's just check we're on the right heading here. And we are. So this way a little bit. So I'm just going to look at my app to see why there's no traffic online. It really is very strange. Maybe everyone's doing other things tonight. Maybe there's something good on TV. And you know, there is an EasyJet approaching Edinburgh, I can see on my app. But other than that, it is just very, very quiet. Okay, there's Dalgety Bay. We'll now head round to the lovely Silver Sands beach at Aberdour. Okay, so I believe the beach is, yeah, it's this one here, down here, and this is where I took these lovely pictures of Slinky. Miss you, our lovely boy. Yeah, I just feel so sad that he won't be able to... Oh no, hold on. That's the harbour. Sorry, the actual beach bit is down here. That's the beach bit. There's Silver Sands Cafe, right? Okay. Let's come round, and now we're going to head towards a couple of places he really loved in Dunfermline. So head kind of northwest direction. Yeah, let's head up towards Dunfermline. Just check on the map. Yeah, let's just head actually west here. We'll try and fly over the glen, also known as, also main name is Pittencrieff Park, and this was gifted to the now city of Dunfermline by Carnegie, the very famous philanthropist. So we'll see if we can find that. Then we'll head to the town lock, which is a lovely little place he loved to walk around. So theoretically, this EasyJet. Is he going to Edinburgh? Ah, because he's going to Glasgow. That's why we can't see him. That's fine. Right. So let's see. Where is the glen? Okay, up this way. Really miss you, Slinky. Okay, so the glen, about 2 miles ahead here. Let's come this way so we can see it properly. Okay, so the glen or Pittencrieff Park is under here, I think. I think it's this, yeah, I think it's this big park here, I believe. Beautiful place to walk. Oh, I miss you, Slinky. Okay, we'll now head towards the town lock. Nice, lovely walk you love to walk around. Do a wee buzz of the town lock in his honour. Gosh, this actually feels really, really emotional and painful to do this flight. The grief is kind of coming in waves. Sometimes it feels okay, and other times it feels just really, really sad. Gosh. This is the town lock. And just at the left there is where this picture is of him meeting a wee horse. Right, now fly over towards his favourite place to have a walk, which is Loch Fitty. Get the fuel pumps off now. Okay, let's transfer some fuel. And we'll set a timer for 30 seconds. We were losing a bit of too much fuel in our tanks there, so we'll get some sent over from the tips. Oh no, sorry, we're using tip tanks, we need to get some sent over from the main tanks. Or vice versa, I can't remember. But anyway, this is Slinky's new home. It's in the town of Kingseat. And he used to walk through this field every day until it became too overgrown to walk down to his favourite walk in Loch Fitty. one moment, need to stop the fuel transfer. There we go. So, yeah, Karen loved taking him for daily walks down to Loch Fithiel there as he got a bit more ill. He didn't really have the stamina, so we had to do some shorter walks, which is really, really sad. Oh, this is really, really hard. Really, really hard. So we're now approaching the final stopping place, which is, or actually the penultimate one, which is Blair Adam Woods. He loved walking around these woods. Just trying to see whereabouts. Can't really remember exactly where our walking bit was. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful woods there. Really, really, really pretty. And now, finally, we'll just head over towards Lockhall Meadows, which is another place that Karen used to take him occasionally. It's a bit further away, so we didn't go there too often. But it's just another stunning, stunning place where he just enjoyed his walks. Gosh, this is really hard. Okay. So, this was Lockhall Meadows, another place he just loved. So I'm just going to come in and land now at Fife Aerodrome. And I'm just going to get set up for that, but this will just give me a little chance to talk about what else Slinky did. Before I do that, let's just get brakes off, undercarriage fixed and welded, mixture is fully rich, props will come fully forward, we'll get in a minute, get fuel pumps on, have enough fuel, plenty for go around, get landing lights on now, starter isolation switch should have come off ages ago, just get some carpet on, power back, get some speed off. Right, yeah, so Slinky was also a Therapet, an organisation or a service run by Canine Concern Scotland, where dogs and their owners go into places like hospitals, care homes, etc., to give people therapeutic companionship from dogs where they wouldn't be able to get it otherwise, and it really makes such an enormous difference to people. We had a very, very moving letter today from Canine Concern Scotland, and they enclosed his posthumous 3-year plus service certificate, and I can tell you there was not a dry eye in our house, that's for sure. So we are exceptionally, exceptionally proud of Slinky, the dog he was, how he helped people, the way he turned out, and just everything about him. He was just a wonderful, wonderful dog, really, really special. I know everyone thinks that about their own dog, but there was something just really, really magical about Slinky, right? Get one stage of flap down. So as we come into land, it's closing a chapter on this wee memory flight, which I'm really done above all for therapeutic purposes for myself, really, and just so the wider world can learn about Slinky. Get carpet off. 5 traffic, Golf, Sierra Lima, November Kilo is left-hand downwind, runway 2 forward land. Okay. Speed is good, height is good. Yeah, I've never lost a dog before, and this, I tell you, the last couple of days have been so painful. You have times when you think you're okay, and then all of a sudden, you just howl. When he was put down, I thought I wouldn't cry, but I howled and bawled like an absolute baby. It was really one of the most difficult, brutal things I've ever had to go through. You know you're doing the kindest thing for your dog who's really struggling and is really unwell. But it's tormenting to have to do it. Okay, need to avoid these houses. 5 traffic, Golf November Kilo is finals to land, runway 24. Okay, let's get prop stall forward. Let's turn. Final approach. 90 knots, speed is good. Let's get all the power off, a bit high. Oh man, this has been a difficult flight. But it's been really helpful to see all these places that he loved from the air in Microsoft Flight Simulator and just to talk about him really. Okay, and I did a bounce on my landing, my Slinky flight landing, that wasn't ideal. Oh, okay, flaps can come up now, landing lights can come off. And we'll just park up here and just, if you have persevered with watching this video, then all I can say is thank you very much. If you're thinking about adopting a dog, greyhounds are the sweetest, kindest, most affectionate and most lazy dogs. They are perfect for people who can't do too much exercise. They just need 2 20-minute walks per day. So I'm going to sign off here. Thank you.